Good morning, friends, and welcome. Today, um, I want to explore a little bit about mindfulness with you, right? Mindfulness of all things. Um, and not so much like as theory, but in real time right now. We will do some sitting and some formal practice, of course, explore it in that way. But how about right now, right? As you're tuning in, sitting there, you're looking at your computer, what are you mindfulness? What are you mindful of? How about the body? Is the body present? Can you feel it? What else? You're looking at the computer, but also, you're in some kind of room. Is there light coming into the room? How is that? Is it a cloudy day or sunny day? How is that? How is that meaning? How are you relating to it? Ah, the sun, this beautiful rays of sun streaming into the room. I find that very pleasant. Liking that. Okay, good. You can be aware of that. It's a cloudy day. Oh, it's kind of gloomy. I feel that. And my mind's kind of like that, like, ugh. Okay, that can be known too. What else? What are you noticing? Maybe liking or not liking, how I'm presenting today's teaching. It's like, oh, I want to, I was wanting some teachings on something. I don't want to just be aware. Okay, that can also be known, right? Some unsatisfactoriness with the presentation this morning. Feeling the body, perhaps. How is that? Right? Pleasant, unpleasant, nagging pain, chronic injury, maybe feeling that. And then, how is that? Meaning, what's my relationship to that? Is there reactivity? Is there equanimity? Interior, what's happening inside? What's the mood right now? Not 10 minutes ago when you were having tea, right now. Is it bright? Looking forward to sitting and the teaching? Is it dull? Little sloth and torpor? Curious? What what's the flavor of the mind, the heart and the mind right now? Besides my voice, are you hearing anything? Are there other people in the house, voices, maybe sounds from outside, cars going by or whatever? And how is that? Gee, the car's going by. I actually wasn't noticing them. Well, now you do. And perhaps we can see, the Buddha was right. When things are neutral, cars going by, usually pretty neutral experience, we tend to not notice them. Tends to get our experience when it's quite pleasant or quite unpleasant. Then we start noticing. What are you mindful of right now? Maybe a little bit of restlessness. Like, come on, let's get to the meditation. Maybe there's appreciation. Like, oh, right. This is my meditation is always right where I'm at and what I'm doing and what's happening around me. That's always basically where my practice is at. Oh, okay, good. Good to be reminded of this. And right now, what is mindfulness mindful of? The body, particular sense doors. You can see perhaps these questions, they kind of prompt you to pay attention, like, oh, What's being known? And of course, that's, in our Vipassana practice, that's the um, kind of brightness or curiosity that we want to bring to the practice, not with a lot of effort, but just that sense of, oh, what's being known right now? And how is it? How is it? Meaning, how is it impacting me? Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral? And also, how is it? How is it being with this? Is there reactivity? Is there equanimity? Is there wanting, not wanting, etc.? And that's always happening right here and right now. Whether the here and now are these moments before we do the practice, or if it's in moments during when we're doing the formal practice. It's always right here and now is what we're noticing. And what's happening now? Periods of silence. Does the mind start to fill in? Gee, is he going to say anything else? Okay, so you get the idea of what we're pointing at here. The immediacy of our mindfulness practice. What's happening right now? What am I aware of? Or what's being known? You can take the I out of it. Joseph Goldstein often teaches that way. Use the language that takes the I out of the equation. So you could say what's being known and how's it being related to? How am I relating to it? Okay. And of course, this is what we're cultivating when we're doing the Vipassana practice. So let's go ahead and settle into whatever posture you're going to sit in, or stand, lie down, letting the eyes gently come to close. And especially in the beginning, not so much just what am I aware of, but we direct the attention, say, to the body here. So we direct what we're going to be aware of sometimes. In this case, the body sitting, establishing a somatic connection to it. Consciously cultivating calm, starting with the body, inviting the body to soften and relax. And connecting, being mindful of the body as it softens and relaxes. Feeling that experience of body softening and relaxing. It's not a thought, it's not an idea of the body relaxing. It's a direct in the moment experience. And we can be aware how is that? How are we with that? Gee, I'd really like the body to relax a bit quicker. Not really relaxing in the time that I would like it to. Or noticing maybe areas of holding that are kind of persistent Maybe noticing, wishing that they weren't there. Maybe the body is softening, relaxing quite a lot, feeling the pleasantness of that and being aware of the enjoying of that pleasantness, which is not a problem. The Buddha said sense pleasures are to be enjoyed, not clung to, but enjoyed. Paying attention to the body. Sitting like this, we can connect with the experience of the body resting on the earth. Small body sitting on the large body. Earth element touching earth element. So connecting with the sense of steadiness and support from the earth below. Letting go into and resting in that support, in that steadiness. Mindfulness of body. Body sitting on the earth, body breathing, mindfulness of breath, which is not separate from the body, just particular bodily sensations that are associated with the in and out breathing. Breath is just a concept, could call it a dishwasher, a thumbtack, and the experience would be the same. And that would be a bodily experience, a somatic experience. If you want, you can widen your attention, let it encompass the whole body. Feeling all the body sensations, those associated with the breath and those not associated with the breath. Feeling them all at once, mixed together. Feeling the breath body, mindfulness of the breath body. This is straight from the Anapanasati Sutta, the mindfulness of breathing sutta. Breathing in, breathing out, aware, mindful of the entire breath body. And if we were going to just kind of lean into more the shamatha practice, we would just stay with very simply the sensations that we're feeling. With the Vipassana practice, then we bring in the quality of investigation, curiosity, not just what am I feeling and how is it? Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. How am I relating to it? Oh, I really like these kind of pleasant body sensations. Maybe if I kind of breathe just right, they'll get stronger. Or the breath is kind of tight. And how am I with that? Maybe there's equanimity. A tight breath is like this. Or maybe there's reactivity. Don't like this tight breath. Let me see if I can kind of fiddle with my breathing to make it go away. Even with the shamatha practice, though, we do kind of check in on how we're being with the object, don't we? So that it's not too tight, not too loose. We pay attention to that. We're mindful of if we're using the correct or appropriate amount of effort. In the Vipassana practice, we do pay particular attention to other experiences when they arise, not so much with the shamatha practice. Sitting here in the hall, it's a windy day out, the wind is whistling through the windows here, the way it does at the retreat center. So noticing that experience and then noticing kind of liking that as it kind of brings me back to the many retreats I've sat here and heard that same sound. So it's kind of comforting or nostalgic. There's a sense of liking it. And that, can be mindful of that. And the wind stops, body sitting and breathing. What is being known in this moment? How is it? What is the heart and mind's relationship to it? So this mind state and this practice, this cultivation of mindfulness, it is, it is the springing point where our practice jumps off from. It's the core of it. What are we aware of? Are we aware? And of course, we practice that in the formal way, and every waking moment, there's the possibility of being mindful. There's nothing that happens in this universe that is inherently outside of, uh, the ability to know it. So we can always be mindful of something. How is it? What's our relationship to it? We can practice as we move through our day and move through our life. This is where the 10% slower that I've talked about in the past can really come in, because when we're consciously doing that 10% slower is very supportive of mindfulness arising. And kind of circling back on itself, when we're mindful, as mindfulness is there, it tends to support moving more, and it doesn't have to be slower, but less toppling forward, maybe more deliberate, more careful. So these two, this kind of moving slightly slower and being mindful, they both are kind of support and are supported by the other. Okay, so hope you enjoy practicing with that today and always. Like I said, mindfulness it's where it's at. It's the center, the core of our practice. Um, Tomorrow, Wednesday, is going to be Caroline's last day. She's going on a long sabbatical starting the first of the year. So hopefully you'll be able to tune in tomorrow morning, say goodbye to Caroline, and I will see you on Thursday. Okay, till then, be well. Bye-bye.